Hey guys! So for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that I hate doing videos when my hair is pulled back because I feel like I look like a man. I feel like it makes my face look fat, or maybe my face just is fat. So the fact that I am choosing to do this vlog and post it, you guys should feel very loved. But a couple days, or yesterday, I think it was, I asked you guys, what you would like me to do for my weekend vlog, which I think I might try to start doing. I want to have, I've been saying this a lot, I've said this a lot, that I want to have a day when I do vlogs, so you can just expect them on that day. But anyway, so it was 50-50 between the options I gave you, so I decided to just tell you a couple things about my life, about me. So I'm going to tell you my most embarrassing moment, like hands down, top most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me. And then I'm going to talk about, well, not really talk about, but I'm going to tell you about my most irrational fear and then my most rational fear. Or I think it's rational. Just because I don't think those are things that people really talk about. And I just think it's kind of interesting, like when people have elaborate stories behind reasons they don't like balloons, or why. Like, I have a friend who is absolutely beyond terrified of cotton balls. I mean, what? I use cotton balls all the time, but she cannot stand them. She'll use Q-tip, but she can't do cotton balls. I mean, it literally gives her anxiety to even think about cotton balls. I think it's so fascinating. So anyway, let's get to the cool stuff. Okay, so my most embarrassing moment happened in 7th grade. Now, you'll need a little bit of backstory. In my city, we had 3 elementary schools. Well, when I went to school, we had 2 K through 3, 2 4 through 6, and then a K through 6. And I went to that K through 6 school. It was a Spanish immersion school. But then we had 1 junior high, so 1 school for 7th and 8th grade. So when we went to junior high, they had to have special advanced classes for those of us from the immersion school. Now, granted, they really weren't that great, but they tried. So anyway, I had Spanish geography, and they actually brought a teacher from our elementary school to the junior high to work with us, so it was all exciting. And there were 3 of us, me and these 2 girls, were sitting behind a bookshelf that was it was right by the door to the classroom. So we're sitting there doing our work, and the end of class comes, so we get up, and I look down at the floor, and there's this red puddle. And I sit back down, and it registers, like, you haven't changed your thing all day. This is bad. This is really bad. Like, what? And like, especially for being 12 years old, it was ridiculously heavy. I'm sorry if that's too much information for some people, but it was ridiculous. So I'm sitting there, I start crying. My friends are asking me what's wrong. I kind of show them, and my one friend gives me her sweatshirt, and then as everyone's filing out, they're all looking over the bookshelf like, what's wrong with Mariah? Like, why is she freaking out? And that makes me even more panicky. And then my teacher comes over, and, she just, Mariah, what's wrong? Let's review. Okay, so not only is this a Spanish class, so I have to be speaking in Spanish, my professor's a male, so that makes it 10 times worse. And I already don't know how to tell him what happened in Spanish, let alone tell him. And I keep saying, no puedo decirlo en español, no puedo decirlo en español. And I'm sobbing, hysterics. And so he finally says, okay, you can tell me in English. Even then, I couldn't get the words out. So I just kind of like shifted over so he could see what was on the floor. And I think his face was redder than the stain. It was mortifying. So he calls the nurse. And then I was in volleyball at the time, so he calls the volleyball coach to come up, and he goes into the hallway and comes back in the room with a Kleenex, a singular tissue that he wet in the water fountain, and hands it to me and says, "Here." And I am assuming he wanted me to clean it up with that. Okay, a Kleenex was not going to do anything, so then it just made me cry even more. Oh, it's the fridge, sorry. So the nurse comes up. Volleyball coach comes up. Volleyball coach is really concerned. I'm obviously really embarrassed. The nurse hands me a pad and says, but you need to give me a quarter. I'm 12 years old. Okay, I'm in junior high. Who carries around quarters? Like, I didn't even carry a purse around at the time. So, you know, she's like, I can't give this to you unless you give me a quarter. You have to give me a quarter. That's the rules of the school. And so my teacher says, oh, I have a quarter that I can give you. And she told me about 4 times to not forget to pay him back for a quarter. She kept saying that was very generous of your teacher to give you a quarter. You really should be thankful and da-da-da. Anyway, so they called up a janitor, and who happened to be a guy, and he was embarrassed to be cleaning it up, and I was embarrassed that he had to see that it came from me. And the volleyball coach said, you know, let's just go down to the gym. And so I changed my uniform. She said, you know what? You can stop practice today. I don't want you to worry about it. Just, we'll tell everyone that you tripped and fell on the stairs. That's why you're crying. And that you're a little sore, so you're just going to sit out today. Don't worry about it. And so there was, you know, a little bright spot there. So I guess that was nice. Also, if you've watched this far, sorry, I'll probably type this in the description box, but you don't have to be watching this. You can just hear it. And that's something I've said before. I hate when videos get long and I feel like I have to be watching it to know what's going on. But I try to make a point to just be talking. Sorry, I'm so popular, right? Oh. Hold on. Ah! Okay. Sorry. My friend was going to call me and debrief me about this fantastic guy that she met, but her brother showed up to visit her. And so she can't call me, and then my dad just texted me. My dad's on his way right now to pick me up, and he just told me that he is taking a stop. Wow, he's like really close. Scraps. I need to clean. Okay, sorry. So, and then, so it's my embarrassing story. Most embarrassing story ever in my whole life. And then, so my most irrational fear, I am terrified of butterflies. I am so terrified of butterflies. I think they are hideous. I think they're disgusting. I mean, and moths too. Like, okay, spiders are gross, but, I mean, I don't like tarantula eyes. I think those are, but with a spider, you can crush it. You can step on it and move on with your day. And spider webs, you just take a broom and dust them down. Butterflies, they get in your face and they sit on your head and they touch you. And where I go to school, I don't know what happened this summer, what they did with the land, but it's been bees everywhere. Like bees, like stingabees, stingabees. And these butterflies, these black and yellow butterflies, and they're everywhere. And I was walking to my horticulture lab, and I made a shortcut through this field, and all of a sudden, I mean, they're everywhere, and I'm like, but like trying so hard not to panic. And I mean, I survived because I'm obviously standing here, but I just, oh my gosh, I hate butterflies. And I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't like the ones where they're symmetrical, or where like they're supposed to look like eyes so they can be, you know, defending themselves against the forces of nature. And I hate butterflies. Okay. And then my rational fear. I'm scared of the dark. But wait, I'm not scared of the dark. I'm scared of what I can't see in the dark. So my vision is very poor. And actually right now, this is the time you'll want to be looking at the video. I'm giving you time to click back onto here. So these are my, I'm going to have to get close to the camera so I can make sure I'm showing you right. So these are my lenses. I can't tell if this is focused or not because my vision's really blurry, but so you can see how the lens comes up. I mean, and then it's obviously, it's the full thickness of my frame. And I actually, well, anyway, I have some spare glasses that are wireframes, which I was actually surprised I was able to get because my lenses are so thick. But anyway, the point is, I have very bad vision. It's actually bordering on low vision, which is like a step, it's a bit below being legally blind. And I also have a lazy eye, which I can show you guys. Okay, so I have this one, and then I can do the other one too. Like, can you see that? Yeah. So I have those lazy eyes, and when I was younger, this is all relevant, I promise. When I was younger, I had patches for a while, wore it on this eye, then this eye, and I thought that it cured my lazy eye, but what it did was it just taught me as a young child, and I learned this when I went to the doctor this summer. What they do is they don't, when a child is given a patch, they don't do it past the age of 8, because you're still kind of learning about your body and you're still developing. And so younger than 8 is when you can wear a patch and you're able to learn where your eye can go, I guess. So what it really did was just teach me how to keep my eyes straight. And so I thought it cured it. You know, obviously I look straight all the time. But over these past couple months, my vision would just get really blurry, and I'd realize my eye is drifting on its own, and I'm not able to control it. Now, when I watch TV, when I use the computer, things like that, I do let my eye drift, but I do it consciously. And so the fact that this summer it was unconscious was beyond terrifying. So I went to the doctor, we talked about it. There are some surgery options that I could do to fix it, where it would just, they'd either put a knot in the muscle or they would just cut the muscle and stitch it back together. But really, it's purely cosmetic because it doesn't make my vision worse. I can't get like, more blind because I have it. So I opted out of it, and I've been able to control it for these past 20 years. I'm just going to keep going with it. The point is, you guys, I'm sorry, this is longer than I anticipated. The point is, my vision is awful. And so for me to be in the pitch blackness of night, granted when I'm asleep, obviously I'm not seeing anything, but if on some chance someone were to come into my apartment, yeah, I could hear them, but I would not be able to see their physical shape. And even the other night, I decided to check my closet before I went to bed, and I didn't have my glasses on. I opened it up, and it literally just looked like a group of people sitting in my closet, just having like my laundry basket and like winter stuff and boxes. It without my glasses, that's legitimately what it looked like, and I knew it wasn't. But so the point is, I sleep with the floor lamp on. Usually now, with the way my apartment is set up, I sleep with this lamp on back here, and it just kind of spreads light down the hallway. But it just, I mean, honestly, it gives me so much anxiety. It gives me so much anxiety to think of what could be happening that I can't see. Because even without my glasses, you know, I can make out, I was looking at stuff, sorry. I can make out vague shapes, some colors, depending on how close the items are or how much contrast there is between items. But it's something obviously I've learned to deal with. You know, I accept it. I could get LASIK if I really wanted, but and my insurance would actually cover a significant portion of it, which would be nice. But I don't think it's worth it. I think maybe once I am classified as low vision, then I might consider it, just because I don't want to go blind. But, I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm still 3 points away from being low vision, which, I mean, will take years for me to reach that point. And so, I don't know. I guess that kind of turned from my biggest fear to, like, sorry, there's something on my screen. My biggest fear to just, like, talk about Mariah's life. But I also, sorry, this video's going to be kind of long, but whatever. If you guys watch it, you watch it. If you don't, you don't. Sorry, got a little bit of an attitude. I discovered this girl, her name's Bunny, and her YouTube name is Graveyard Girl, but the E is a 3. And her videos are all, I don't think any of them are shorter than 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes is probably the shortest they are, and they'll reach like 20 minutes. And so like yesterday, I forget what I was doing, but I just had it playing in the background. And she's so entertaining. Like, you don't even have to be watching sometimes. You can just hear her voice. My voice isn't very entertaining. I sound like a man. Sorry. I wish I could sound more like, woo! But it's not happening. So anyway, that's that. Yeah, I guess thanks for watching if you made it this far. And if you have any, like, questions about anything, or you want me to address something else, I could do that 17 questions tag. I might, you know, I'm going to wait to do that one until I get my hair cut this weekend. Well, my mom's just trimming my ends, but then I'll wear my hair down for that one. Plus, I seriously need to stop and clean because my dad is probably going to be here in like an hour. This is not ready for a guest anywhere near. So, I'm going to go. But thanks for watching, and yeah. This is the same episode of Say Yes to the Dress Atlanta, and the mom was so rude. I was so pissed. Like, I can see why your husband divorced you, because you were evil. And the daughter was crying, and she's like, I love this dress, and everyone was like, it's so beautiful. And she's like, I hate it, I hate it. I really like the other one better. Meh, meh, meh. I dare my mom to be like that if I'm crying over a dress. I'll be like, you can't leave. I'm paying for this myself, so with my millionaire dollars. Making it rain. Okay, I'm so tired, and I need to clean, so I'm going to go. If I had more chapstick on, that would have been more of like a... Like that. Okay. I'm done. Bye.